his best play right there. That was it. So hopefully he can progress off of that.
What did you see that from him in the other practices? And
I'm sorry, say it again.
What did you see that toughness and kind of attacking sense of him grow since last season? Because we haven't seen him at all on the field. It's kind of how much has he shown that over the course of his time here?
He needs to keep showing that. Yeah, it was a great play.
Bob, did you have the great experiment today with Eddie Ilafosio?
No, we're just, we're down on a little bit of numbers, as you guys all know, at outside linebacker, and every practice we've rotated an inside backer to outside backer. Eddie just kind of shows up a little bit wherever he plays.
How important is Ryan Bowman to what you guys do defensively?
Yeah, very, very important. A veteran, I think he's about 40 years old now, veteran outside linebacker, been here for a long time. Very smart, very fast, can rush the passer, play the run. He's a critical piece of our defense.
I guess the obvious question, you know, you guys teaching consistency, how's that been going in terms of getting the kids to understand that?
Yeah, I think we're getting better every practice. It's been great energy in terms of all spring, all practices. I think our guys are buying into everything we're teaching them to do, and I think we've been pretty consistent this spring.
What have you seen? I mean, it's tough when you're not tackling as much, but from Tui and Taki as they're continuing to grow, what's their progression been like?
Yeah, I think we've done a better job of stopping the run overall. And those two guys, as Ryan Bowman is critical on the outside, those two guys are very critical on the inside. Along with Tui, he's playing very well in there as well.
Can you name a couple guys on defense that from day one to today have really just kept on improving and getting better?
You know, a couple DBs stick out of me. Both cams, I think, are playing well. I think our two D tackles are playing well. One guy that keeps jumping out, and I feel really glad and good for him, is Braylon Trice. He made a couple big plays today, and every practice he seems to make a big play and getting better. So those would be a few of the guys.
So I'm just curious, so with Eddie going to the outside and other linebackers doing that, is that just to fill numbers, or are you getting them ready if you needed them?
Yeah, and both. We have to fill numbers. We have to give our outside backers a little bit of breather in practices, because that's the group on our side of the ball that is low in numbers. Eddie's an inside linebacker, but if we lose more guys or whatever it might be, position flexibility is huge, and that's why we rotate an inside guy out there every day.
What has been the big step for Kyler Gordon, where it seems like he's always had the athleticism, but it seems like he's really been more consistent and dominating? What's been the big step for him to
I think that's it. I think just really understanding the defense and playing more consistently. You know, we've had some great corners around here, as you guys know, over the years. He's every bit as athletic as any corner we've had. It's just the experience, playing consistently, and really knowing the defense.
Bob, speaking of position flexibility, Jacoby Covington looked like he got a lot of reps outside today. Are you guys still trying to figure out what the best position for him is?
Yeah, a little bit, and just in terms of, it's just so good when guys can play inside or outside, whatever, inside backer, outside backer, safety corner. The more they can do that, the more they're going to understand the defense, and gives us and them the flexibility to play more.
Has Humuli got himself in a position to play if he had to? Be a starter, that kind of thing?
He's getting close. He still needs to learn more of the defense. It still needs to be second nature to him, where it is not quite yet, but he is making really good progress and has had a good spring so far.
What does K-Fab done to stand out?
What's that?
What does Cameron Fabiculanen done to stand out?
What does he have to do?
What has he done to stand out to this spring?
Yeah, I think making plays, more consistent in his understands the defense. These guys been around here for a while. It's, you know, guys making play. You got to make some plays on defense, whatever position. You can't have busts, which he's had very few busts, and playing much more physical. Guys got to be able to tackle, not give up big plays in the back end. So all of those he has improved at.
Your two freshmen defensive linemen that came in, saw one of them in the middle of looked like a pretty fun little skirmish. Have they fit right in? They look like they're physically ready to play a little bit.
Yeah, Voy and Qual, you're talking about. Really happy with those two guys. They are certainly going to be really good football players here. Qual came a little bit earlier than Voy, but for two freshmen, we feel pretty pleased about those two guys.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
Real quick.
All right, Donovan, way up. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good, good.
Patrick O'Brien looks like he's had a couple strong practices here. Just kind of what have you seen from his progression as he's grown in the
Yeah, I like Patty, man. He's done a great job. You know, he's obviously got a lot of experience. He's a good kid. He's smart. He's got a good arm. He's sneaky athletic. Been really impressed with, I'm really happy to have him. I'm impressed with him, and he's making us better, and he's pushing everybody to be better, too. It's been good.
Just how would you assess the kind of the totality of the QB room right now? It seems, I mean, you've got 3 guys and then obviously the walk-ons, but it seems that everyone's playing at a pretty high level.
They're doing all right. You know, I mean, every day kind of still new, and you know, I'm telling the guys, man, it's for everybody. It's a process, right? We're in the early stages of this process. I mean, we had some meetings early. Now we have spring practice, and then we're gonna have summer player run stuff, and then we're gonna have training camp. We got a long way to go. You know, we've had our moments, and you know, but there's a lot of new stuff coming at them every day. I mean, put a list up of stuff of how many stuff we got in 12 practices. I mean, usually we don't have half the stuff in for a week. You know, and we get 5 days to practice it. So that, you know, for that room's no different than everybody else. They've done a good job of handling it, and we'll get better. You know, but we got a ways to go, and this is just part of it.
Can you envision a scenario where you play 2 quarterbacks?
I don't know. We're far from that. Yeah, I mean, not right now. I mean, we're too far from that, so I can't truly answer that question.
Sorry, maybe this will help out. So what are you evaluating right now in terms of, you know, they're getting a lot of info? Is it
How much can they handle? How much can they handle? What are they maybe good at, or what can they get better at, or what's good for us, or maybe not as good for us? You know, but really, right now, it's about throwing as much. You know, we're throwing a lot at them. You know, we're gonna need a bag to choose from. You know, from the season, and we're gonna have to, you know, not gonna have it all in one game, but that bag's getting fuller and fuller every day, and some of the stuff we might keep, some we might not. We just say, you know what, that's not really what we want to be doing, I don't think. Maybe we'll come back to it, maybe not, and then some of the other stuff we need to get in, so we'll keep filling that bag. Then eventually, you know, each week the bag will be shorter for what we want to do, but, you know, we gotta be able to run a lot of the same plays out of different formations, and you know, that's something that, you know, for a game, we might not have that many, but for 12 practices, we got a lot of formations in right now, and we can run a lot of different variables of each play. So it's a lot of stuff coming at them, and we're pushing them.
I saw a lot of long strikes from Patrick today. Looked really good. I'm just curious, you look at him and Dylan, if you had to just kind of compare and contrast what stood out about those two, and what you like about one, what you like about another so far?
Oh, man. I mean, I've been impressed with the way Patrick's been able to learn the stuff. I'm impressed with, you know, his vision. I've been impressed with his demeanor. You know, he could take the heat. I already knew Demo could. Demo could take the heat and keep on ticking. And sometimes you get a new guy, and they you know, you see how they react to certain situations. I think he's been pretty cool, and he can laugh at some of my dumb humor and whatnot. And but he can take the heat too, and he responds to it well. He doesn't go in the tank. So I've been impressed with him. I already know Demo can do that because I've been in the fray with him, you know. So I do think that with those guys, like I said, though, they're all doing a pretty good job, and I think over this next few months, this next process, keep going. They're going to push each other, and it's going to be fun.
Can we get a sample of the dumb humor?
I think you just did a little minute ago. That was dumb, but I did it.
You know, when it comes to the competition, over the last week or so, was it the plan to try to get Patrick O'Brien some more reps with the ones, or is that just him taking advantage of his opportunity?
You know, it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, he's played well enough. You know, we're just mixing and matching right now. We're not able to run, you know, all 4 groups right now, so it's more 3. So it's like, you know what? Hey, let's just try to get a couple guys and mix it up, and you know, get them with different groups. And you know, there's no real like set plan, rhyme or reason to it. I think, you know, it's good for everybody to kind of get reps with other people too, though, and see how they respond in different spots. So, you know, we were just kind of off the cuff a little bit and just changing it up.
Is there a pecking order for the running backs, or is it just different packages that certain guys are better suited?
You know, I think over time that it'll sort itself out. I think, you know, there's been some guys I think that have done a good job, and and I think it's very similar to the QB room. They're going to push each other, but at some point, I think we do need to narrow it down. Once we get close to the season and really kind of try to hone in on, kind of getting guys in a rhythm and a groove. And you can't have too many guys. So I think eventually, we'll get there. And we'll see when and who that will be.
You give us a little bit of a rundown on Cam Davis.
Cam Davis, he ran hard the other day. He earned the right to play, and he runs like that. He'll earn the right to play. I mean, he's done a good job. I thought Rich Newton did a great job running hard, but pass protection, I thought he did a good job there too. Javion, if you guys seen him, he's got some great ability. Sean McGrew's been around. He's a guy that, you can trust, and he's made plays in games. I mean, Kamari's the same way, and we kind of, those guys have been around. We know what they can do somewhat. Let's see what these other younger guys potentially could do. So you see a little bit more of them maybe out there. But, like you just rattled off those guys, and you got some other guys, that are new and whatnot that are, learning, and they're swimming maybe a little bit more. But, I've been in, I think we'll be fine either way. But I think eventually, we'll have to settle on a few. You're going to have to.
Can you name a couple of guys that have surprised you at any level, first, second, or third, that just were better than you thought when they came out here this spring?
At any position?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Shoot. That's a tough one. I always feel weird because I'm always going to forget somebody. You know what I mean? That's what I always feel bad about. Who did I go walk out of here like the running back? No, did I forget somebody? Impressed. Probably just, the thing I think normally you'll get impressed with guys that hadn't been around as much. So the new guys, they've been, there's been some interesting guys there like Sam and like Quentin and JP, and those new guys pop off my top of my head. I think Devin Culp, I think he's played pretty well. I think he's coming around. He gets it. He's starting to get it, which would be nice. I think he's done some good things. I think Cam's another guy that's kind of, he's shown some flashes. He's played a little bit, but he's taking the next step, I think, here. I've been impressed with Pat. He's been, you think you know what you're going to get, but you're not 100% sure, and I feel really good about him. And the guys that have been here, they kind of, you know what you're getting with some of those, like some of the old linemen and Kate Otten. I mean, those guys just, they come to work every day, and you already know what you're getting. But the new guys, probably, you're watching them a little bit more, see how they can handle. So those guys have done a good job.
You had gotten through the rough stretch of the speed and everything being thrown.
I think he's okay with the speed, really. I don't think that's as much of an issue. It's more about like it's all kind of coming together. It's all on top of him right now, and it's being able to sort out each one on each particular play. I mean, we got we got a ton of plays in. We got a lot of formations. We got a lot of cadences. We got a lot of different situational type stuff. I think it's more that than anything else. To me, I think he does understand the plays pretty well. I think he does good with the speed of the game. It's more like the operation and getting in the huddle, spitting out and taking charge at the line and knowing where to exactly look on each play, check the play clock. Like all that stuff is like, pretty new to him. And like I said, for a guy that's just, you never know. I mean, you never been under center and all that stuff. He hadn't really many issues there. I mean, he's done a pretty darn good job, I'll be honest.
You mentioned Quentin Moore, who had a heck of a day today, and Devin. Just how excited are you about the tight end?
Yeah, got some dudes. Mark Redmond's another guy. I mean, shoot, he's taking the next step for sure. I mean, he showed flashes last year, but he's been a lot more consistent. He just does things that last year you would have been like, all right, I'm gonna have to coach him off of that. And now he sees it, and he does it. But yeah, those two guys, I mean, we got a good room right there, man. They're going to be pushing. It's great. I mean, they're going to be pushing receivers to get on the field, their backs or whoever else. They make plays, and shoot, you can do a lot with tight ends on the field. So, I think those guys have definitely shown some flashes, and if they can pick it up and play consistent and make plays at the same time, then they'll earn the right to play. But I'm excited about that room if they can keep progressing. We got to keep progressing. We can't stop after spring. We got to keep grinding away, whatever they got to do to grind away and keep getting better, because next time we're together, we don't want to restart again. We want to kind of pick up where we left off.
When you're putting together a game plan, you're looking at defenses and guys that you think you might be able to attack and guys that are going to make things difficult. Is there anybody on the defensive side of the ball that's making things difficult for you to get done what you need to get done right now?
Oh, wow, good question. We haven't looked at as much as that. The guys that, I think Bowman always stands out to me. I think the D-line, the interior is playing pretty well right now. Jackson and Eddie are always making plays. Obviously I think we got a pretty good DB room. I don't know about, those guys would probably know more than I would on specific players. Usually in practice, for a game, you'll talk more personnel specific with guys. During practice, we're more generally this coverage, this front, more than, hey, in this coverage, make sure you don't go to this guy, go to that guy, or we're going to run the ball away from him or to him or whatever it may be. It's more about the structure of the defense rather than the particular players that are within the structure. If that makes sense.
How would you kind of assess this group of wide receivers and what stood out about them this spring?
They are, there's another group. I mean, they played some last year, but, not a whole season. It's like a little bit of a sample size with Rome and Jalen. Love TB. I think he's had a great camp. To answer your question earlier, too. I mean, he's played fast. I think he's been very consistent. We're moving those guys around a little bit, too. Like, they've been around, but at the same time, it's one thing to know the play, but it's another thing to know the play in different spots. And that's kind of what we're doing a little bit now, too, which is nice because you want to be able to not always have the same guy in the same spot. So if those guys are able to do that, then that's going to help us out a bunch. So we're tinkering with that, right now, which has been, I think that'll help those guys out tremendously. Now they can, instead of just running, all right, I got this route on this play. All right, I got this route on this play, and this is why I got to run this route this way because I know the guy inside of me is doing this. Like, that's when you understand the whole concept, the whole picture. It's a lot easier to run your individual route than rather than just memorizing, all right, I got this route on this play. Okay, I know what this guy's doing, so I need to release outside or inside or win with speed or whatever it may be. So I think those guys, that's where they're taking their next step as far as learning stuff.
Coach Slade, he mentioned very early on how being able to double up your reps by running your team drills early that way. I was also wondering too, I kind of noticed from time to time that you also guys, you try to maybe double up on your installs.
Yeah.
Is that part of the reason you guys have so much inventory right now?
Yeah, so no doubt, because when you can't double up on the installs, it's one thing, the guy, pay attention back there, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people standing back there. So actually, when they actually walk through it and see it, and it just helps. So we were able to get 4 groups back to back. This group goes, then the next group goes. So they're all getting a rep at it, at least hearing it, and doing it and walking it through. Might not be to all the different fronts or coverages or anything, but at least they're just able to kind of process the information and do it. Anytime they can get a rep, that's big. So that's been good actually, for sure.
I was also curious about your late situations, like your 4-minute drills and stuff that you've been running late. And I noticed you're way off to the side. Is this as much mental reps for you guys to get your timing down?
Yeah, he throws those special cats out there. It's like, oh my God, you're in the middle of practice, and all of a sudden it's like, dude, special cat. You're like, oh my God, what we up now? What's the score here? I just think sometimes when I like to stand away sometimes, like in a game, you can see better when you're either further behind or further in front. You can kind of see a little bit more, stuff, when as opposed to just seeing it right, like in front of you type of deal. But that's the reason why. But those are great for our guys, and it's great for us to be able to, what are we going to do here? Are we going to throw? Are we going to run it? Whatever it may be. It puts you in those situations. And you can practice them all you want. There's the games, they're always a little different, you never know what you're going to get, but it helps you be able to think and process in a moment where you're going to have to do it quickly. So I think that's where it helps for sure.
You mentioned O'Brien's a sneaky athlete. Dylan seems a little more agile than Patrick.
Yeah.
How important is that ability for the quarterback?
It's huge. You guys see it. You can draw. I tell the guys it's an imperfect game drawn to perfection. We're supposed to be doing this and this and this and this, and all of a sudden the guy, breaks the pocket and the coverage can't hold up and it's a huge play, and that's how I drew it up. Not really, So it helps when you get a guy that can extend plays, make things happen, and I think Dylan's got very good feet and he got good quickness. I don't know about his 40 and all that. I think it's okay, but like he's got good short area quickness, which I think helps him. And I think I said Patty's a pretty sneaky athlete. I think all the QBs are above average for sure.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, man.